Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Arlathea. So for this one we're doing another human drawing, or actually it'll be another one, because I already have 2 comic pages out with people in it. One of them doesn't have a person in it yet, but it will eventually. The other one does, which is my Riders and my Shadows comic. So I have 3 out right now. No, I have 4 out right now. Never mind. I have 3 comics out right now. I forget where I'm at, but this, I'm just kind of going in order of like the way I released them with my main character and everything. So this is her. The dragon is not here yet, but he will be here eventually. So we're just kind of focused on her because I decided to change it from doing all of them at one time to just one at a time and eventually do like group drawings and stuff. I'm like, there's no rush. So this is just the beginning of this. For this one, I do have little like human figurines and I have like a comic book thing, like a comic book drawing book thing with like the poses, but I kind of just did her freehand, if you will. I didn't like look at any posing, so, but that's just the way I like to draw personally. Sometimes I'll pull them out, sometimes I won't, but this one I kind of just did it out of my head just because I wanted to. But this is like one of my sketch phases of, with that green pencil is kind of where I just lay down like all my color and then go back over with actual pencils to kind of darken in my lines and figure out like how I want things. Because I'm trying to get a little bit better about that, so I'm not trying to redo the same drawing like 15 times, because sometimes it is 4 times I actually redo a drawing, and like generally like the 4th time is like the best time. Sometimes it's maybe like the 2nd time, but this one I did in one go, so I'm pretty happy about that. Like, I'm not a people drawer yet. I'm trying to get there. Like, I do have my own anthropomorphic characters, but we're getting there. But Riders is a dragon story, like a Dragon Riders story. I just call it Riders. I like the one-worded titles to make it simple. This is my main character. So there's actually, so I call them clans, because that's what those 2 little badges are on her hip, is that they're part of the clans. So there's technically 5, but there's 4 with people in it and 1 with a dragon, 1 with dragons. Because you have, there's 3 main ones, which you have one in the south, which is actually the capital. You got the west side, and then you got the north side. The one that she's in is also in the south, but they're more of like the assassin, what am I going to say? The assassin clan, if you like, they're trained a little bit more differently than the rest of them. So they're like a little more aggressive and everything, and they're kind of prone, ready to attack or like to defend themselves, whatever they got to do. So that's what she's a part of. So her clothing is actually a play on my first character, which is named Arlathea, who I do have comics out about this. So the intention is that all the outfits will be kind of different variations of one another, but generally like the dark green that you see would actually be her main color. But because her clan is black, I wanted to have her clothing mostly black, because her 4 colors, because everybody else only has 3 colors, even though their main uniform color is included for 4. But these are her 4 actual colors, is a dark green, a medium green, a blue, and a black. So this, you know, I kind of did that on purpose though. But I thought the black made sense for the assassins. So the main color is supposed to be black, but yes, I did include her other 3 colors in there as well, just because that is the way I like to do it, and just to kind of help break up the different patterns I have on there as well. And that way, whenever like in the story, you know who's associated with what clan, just to make it easier. Because like her clan is actually pretty hated just because of who they are, even though they're like, you know, on the good side. But it's just because of who they are is what the problem is. So people just don't like them that much, even though they are necessary evil. Well, I don't want to say they're evil. I shouldn't say that, but it's like, you get what I'm saying. Like, they're just necessary to have, because they do a lot of things others can't or just won't do. Because the other writers aren't trained the way that they're trained. They're just like more specialized. So the other writers do help out, but for like certain missions, like working, because this is set in modern day, all my stuff, except for Arlathea itself, that's a whole different situation. But like anything with people in it is like set in modern day. So the writers work with like the government and everything to help complete missions and all that stuff. So that's what they're for. The rest of the writers, they kind of just like help defend the cities and whatnot from, you know, attackers and such. So that's kind of like the biggest difference. But the scars on her leg, which later on, like way later in the story, it's not like immediate, but it is explained where those are from. So her dragon Arlith, he's a spinal quill, so it's kind of a play off of a hedgehog, because I do like hedgehogs. That's what Arlethia's main animal is. That she is a hedgehog. But his species are actually like the kings, if you will. Like they're able to control the other dragons through like various noises and stuff. So and like but spinal quills don't bond. Like that's just a general rule. But when her and Arlith met, they did end up bonding, and it like I put it as fate and destiny because that's what they kind of believe is like everything's planned out and stuff. So his parents ended up attacking her over something that neither of them could help, and they left Arliss, so he kind of just grew up in the clan with, if you see movement in the background, I was watching YouTube while I was drawing this. I did not realize that the phone was in view, and just in case. But they left, so then they became like highly rated again, but Arlith is very feared. Like he's a 20-foot tall dragon normal, but when he mutates, because in my stories I have this thing called mutations, where it's like they all kind of like transform into like an actual kind of looking animal. He's 150 feet. The rest of the dragons are all 10 feet, and they're 50 feet whenever they mutate. And then we got like the Rhytons and stuff, which are one of my bad guy species. They're 15 feet, and they go 100 feet. And you got the Hive Leads, which are actually in control of the Rhytons and everything. Like they're the main guys. They're as big as Arlith. So I have very large animals, but I'm like, I just think it's fun. I just think it's cool. So that's pretty much that, like, overall. So that's just kind of just going through, fighting and everything, and just what little miscellaneous adventures I can come up with and whatnot. And they have the elements still, because since they bonded with the dragons, because the dragons hold the most power just because they actually have the elements. But when you bond with the dragon, you actually get some of their power, and that goes along with their elements. So because Arlith is an elemental, so is her. Because, like, all my main girls, like this, are all elementals themselves. So it just kind of makes sense for me to carry it through, because that's just one of my things. Like, the scars on the legs, another thing. The colors are another thing. So a lot of this does kind of get recycled a little bit, but it's kind of, like, morphed to fit the story. But I did give them goggles just because the dragons go so fast. I think it makes sense to protect their eyes, because it's like dragons, like their scales around their eyes are made specifically to kind of, push the air aside so it doesn't affect the dragon. I feel like they would need to have goggles on to help. And I put her hair in a braid because, like, based on personal experience, when you got the wind blowing around, your hair gets all knotted. I think it makes sense to have the braid just so it's, like, out of your face a little bit more and it just doesn't get all knotty and stuff. So that's just me, though. But like then on the back of her jacket, she also has her crest symbol as well. Because I was like, I think that makes sense to carry it to the back too. So it's just a lot, but there's like a different dragon species. Eventually they will meet back up with the Spinaquills at some point in time. So I already have ideas going on. It's like, just gotta get there. But it's like, I got other drawing series I do. Like, I have other dragons and fantasy stuff, and I got dinosaurs. I have dino mini comics, well, minis, I suppose, other comics. I want to do, like, painting and sculpting. So if anything sounds interesting to you, like, please follow along on the journey, because I am going to open up a store soon. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!